I cannot hear you. Louder. I disagree.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog, nice. Coming at you with another daily news update. So just wanted to wrap up San Diego Comic-Con 2025 in a nice little bow. Talk about some of the things that we saw come out of San Diego Comic-Con. Once again, I had a blast. Shout out to everybody that I hung out with, saw, broke bread with, had drinks with, talk collecting with at San Diego Comic-Con 2025. It was so good to be back in the city. Shout out to my crew, to Brad, Vin, Rick, Genyamata X, P, who was in astral form holding us down the whole entire time. You know, we hit the ground running out there. First day or the first night, I got to mess around with quite a few figures that I hadn't previously, some Street Fighter stuff, Psylocke and Thanos from that 2-pack. And then that very next day, we actually went out to Target to try to find the Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack. Did not score on that first day. We had also hit up Ross and saw a couple things in there, but nothing really that I wanted to purchase. But obviously, the Hasbro breakfast was a blast. Got to hang with a lot of the kind of big name toy tubers and got to fondle a lot of these figures that were just slated to release, including all of these Gamerverse figures. You know, since then, we've seen a lot of these show up in collectors' hands and collectors' displays. A lot of my guys over in the UK have started to receive these in hand. Maximum line got some updates. I'll double back to that. Mini Comic Wave #2 got some updates. I'll double back to that. You know, the Savage Land 3-pack was on sale here. I was able to complete my Savage Land crew. The Fantastic Four costume She-Hulk was on display here. I was able to get that in hand since San Diego Comic-Con. I was a little disappointed with this Crossbone and Madam Mask 2-pack. I didn't pull the trigger on it yet, but when I saw that Crossbones was kind of small, that kind of disappointed me. But I did see that the newest Breaker figure, I think it was Breaker, could be army built and utilized as like some soldiers to go along with Crossbones because the colors really match up in their uniforms. Here I am pouting right before I was going back into the con for the day to it's like almost 2 o'clock and I didn't even make it to the convention center yet. As you saw, I had a lot of shipping to do to friends. I was at a post office for like 2 hours. The total cost of shipping everything out, including stuff to myself, back to myself, my own personal things, was $430. The shipping at USPS just went up. The cost just went up. It's crazy, man. I'm annoyed and exhausted and hungry. Interview June of Jada Toys. That interview is actually up now. You can go back and check that out. Also go back and check out my interview with the Hasbro Marvel Legends brand team. One thing in particular that came out of that interview that I did a separate video for was the idea of this all army builder wave with an army builder as the builder figure. So check out that video on the channel. Obviously, we got to see the X-Men 97 Morph for the first time on display at that Hasbro breakfast. Unfortunately, I missed my opportunity to interview the GI Joe team. But obviously, we did see the Snowcat on display there. My number one first question that I wanted to ask the team was about the release of these police force figures from GI Joe. They kind of went silent on those, but I'm hearing that it's just going to be a quote unquote like secret drop for them and that we're still going to see them. So I'm excited about that. In terms of the Snowcat, that campaign wrapped up. I think it was about 16,000 something backers, but all of the tiers were unlocked for that. So shout out, congratulations to anybody who backed that. In terms of other HasLabs, you know that the Star Wars gunship was shown for the first time there. In fact, when they were setting up to bring that out and set it up for people to see was right when I was about to conduct my Hasbro interview. So I actually had the kind of lay of the land there, and it was like cleared out for the majority of my interview because they cleared people completely out of the booth before that. That was cool. Here's a little insight into some of the details for the gunship.
This like alternate pack other than swap out?
Yeah, so excuse me. So like right there, you can either have the plain one on there. So that snaps in there. Or you can do the Crumb Bomber and it'll come, it's already decoed. It'll snap the Crumb Bomber in there. And there's the Crumb Bomber for both sides. Right now I have service with a smile on the side, which is this one.
The smile.
Yep.
Did this go up on Pulse right after
It's up live right now. Yeah.
Okay.
$449, and that gets you the base offering with all those extra panels. It gets 2 pilot figures, too. So there's the one that's in there. It gets a second one. One of the 2 card figures is carded, the pilot. So you've got one in and one out of pack, just straight out of the gate. And it comes with the 2 bases, so it's got a hover stand, so you can just park it like right.
Now, the gunship seems to be struggling a little bit as of the time of this recording. It's Saturday morning, September 6th right now. There's 2 days and 14 hours left for the campaign, and they're struggling. They haven't hit the target minimum goal of 8,000 backers yet. It's just under 6,000 backers, so that's not looking great. As you know, the Marvel Legends team has pretty much sworn off HasLabs, at least for the foreseeable future. We won't see that. Hasbro has done some things with bigger figures and a sort of made-to-order exclusive Hasbro Pulse situation like they did with Dragon Man, which we got to handle at the breakfast on that first day. Since then, I've actually got this figure in hand myself. I love it. A few little minor gripes with the figure, some things that I think they could have added, some better maybe double jointed or 3 points of articulation on the tail maybe instead of just the bendy wire, because I don't think it's bendy enough, if that really makes sense, and some more variety with the wings. Maybe one more set of hands, some jazzed hands or something like that for Dragon Man. But in terms of the quality of the figure, the size of the figure, it's phenomenal. It's wonderful. Again, Jada Toys had a great showing. Again, go back, check out my interview with June. Really excited for these Invincible figures. It was interesting that they started with season 3 in terms of releasing the figures, but they cooked doing Kid Omni-Man as one of the first releases, introducing that new smaller super articulated buck. The articulation on these overall looks very, very good. I'm a little behind with my Street Fighter stuff. I still need Sagat and whoever else was part of that wave, I guess Blanca. But again, I did get to mess with some of these by way of, I think these were Brad's figures maybe, while I was out there at the con. These sort of Marvel Legends, Magic the Gathering figures have gone up for pre-order. I think the only one that I really, really want is the Battle Damaged Spider-Man, maybe Mary Jane in the Iron Spider suit. I'm not 100% sure about these, but I didn't pull the trigger on any of them yet. I'll probably double back. The X-Men 97 2-packs have started going live as well, or have gone up for pre-order. Haven't pulled the trigger on any of these. In terms of X-Men 97, we did get word just recently that the Sentinels were pushed back to December for us here in the US and January for the UK. I reported about this. I'll take the reprieve while it's been taking a crazy hit. I'm sure most of you know. Hasbro doubled back and we got the reveal of a Mephisto with the throne, and that has gone up for pre-order, and that pre-order window has closed since. So I hope you got your pre-order in for Mephisto. Here's them after the con putting Mephisto out into the case. We also got the reveal of this Emperor Doom, and that has since gone up for pre-order. And guess what? The price for this is $27.99, and the word is that is the new regular retail price for regular releases from Hasbro across the board, $27.99. We did get the tease of Maximum Deadpool at the con by way of this dupe. So we all knew Maximum Deadpool was going to be on the way. That has since gone up for pre-order, has been fully revealed and gone up for pre-order. A lot of controversy with the loadout versus the price and how things are going to shake out in terms of the price increases moving forward with Hasbro, but I did pre-order this. A couple other cool tidbits. The InArt event I talked about. InArt had some wonderful things. I'm starting to see this Christian Bale Batman show up in a lot of displays and stuff like that, but everything that they had there looked really cool. I would probably pull the trigger on 1 or 2 of these things for my personal collection. Another thing that I talked about that looked wonderful were these Mondo He-Man figures. Now, I wouldn't collect any of these, but this was one of the top 3 things that I saw at the con for sure.
Double back to the same Target from the very first day. I had a couple of GI Joe firefighters here. Retro carded Cobra Commander. I mean, I did get this with the his tank, I guess. I got Rock and Roll, Stalker, another Cobra Commander. This I actually just got. Shout out to Solid, he hooked me up with that. Pretty much it though. Yamada X is checking with one of the employees to see if they got Psylocke. We'll see.
I'm in the game, I'm grinding, I got to play 24 hours in a day, 7 days out the week, I never sleep. I'm on my grizzly bear, 52 weeks out the year, my mind sharp as my...